Electricity is power and wealth. Power where and when it is needed, producing wealth. This power, this liquid force, is an essential weapon in France's hard battle to win her way back to economic well-being. Without electricity, the complex society of today, dependent upon communications and transportation, could not exist in its present form. In our modern industrial civilization, an abundance of electricity is essential to any nation hoping to maintain its position in the world. France, with its swift rivers, is rich in water power, the best and the cheapest source of electricity. To put so much potential energy to productive use, France is at work on a series of dams in the valley of the great River Rhône, in the Dordogne region, with the Garonne and many other streams, in the mountainous country far south around the Pyrenees, and in other spots scattered from the Rhine to Bordeaux. 58 dams in all, the greatest building project in the nation's history.
Long before the war, we had set out to subdue the Rhône, to cage it and its tributaries in concrete and metal. What we were building for was power, for the mills and factories of Lyon and Marseille, of Grenoble and Avignon, for farms and villages all over Gare and the Alpes-Maritimes. We wanted to open up the great river to ships, all the way from Marseille on the Mediterranean to Geneva in Switzerland. We wanted water to irrigate the parched soil of Var and Vaucluse, of Drôme and Ardèche and the Bouches-du-Rhône. We started the job and we kept it going. Even during the war, we didn't stop entirely. Afterwards, we needed power more than ever to get France's industries back on their feet. So we set to work on the stretch of river between Donzère and Mondragon, and at many other places, gouging out the river, diverting its waters, building canals, locks, dams, and power plants. At Donzère-Mondragon, we're working on one of the biggest digging operations ever undertaken. We have moved 50 million cubic yards of earth. We have uprooted roads and railways and farms and turned a great river out of its bed. Big machines from America have helped us to do a lot of the work, and America is helping in other ways too. 90% of the money spent on Donzère-Mondragon last year came from Marshall Plan counterpart funds. Just this one phase of the Rhône River project is going to cost 74 billion francs or more, about what the whole budget of France used to be before the war. By working day and night, we're hoping to get Donzère-Mondragon into operation by 1953. But the whole Rhône Valley development won't be ready for 30 years or so.
By 1953, France expects to have raised its total output of electrical energy to double what it was before the war. For the French need more and more electricity for their expanding industries and for their daily living, for their health and their well-being. More and more, they are realizing what electrical energy can mean in terms of convenience and good living, and they are demanding these benefits.
We needed more power than the Rhône could give us. Power for hundreds of farms and towns and cities. So we planned our Massif Central development. Dams at Bois-les-Orgues, and Chaston, Couesque, Enchané, and L'Aigle, and many more. And we started to work on them. Then came the war. And at war's end, France's need was more urgent than ever. We got started again. with Marshall Plan funds to help us. Now, we were in a hurry, and to speed operations, our engineers devised new ways of building, new techniques far in advance of those used for building dams in other countries. We built a great overhead railway high up against the sky, a continuous track over which the great buckets of cement, each one controlled by its own operator, move endlessly from point to point where materials are needed. It had never been done before, but we did it, and it worked. We shaped our concrete in prefabricated blocks, themselves made of cement, made in the factory and conveyed to the site. Nobody had ever done that before either, but it worked. Engineering ideas like these, devised and applied on the spot, will save us months and years in finishing the job. We poured our cement bucketful by bucketful, unimaginable millions of cubic yards of it. Then we tamped it down before it settled, so it would harden right, firm, and solid. We laid down great pipelines to bring the water to the turbines. The biggest ones are over 16 feet in diameter. Vaux-les-Orgues is only one, the biggest one among all the other Dordogne projects. About 36 of them in the works or in the planning. Some of them are almost as big as Vaux, like Chaston. We're building Chaston the usual way, with wooden forms, because the conditions are different. We hope to have both Chaston and Vaux-les-Orgues in operation by 1953. But even if these and Donzère-Mondragon and many others are ready, and we do get double the power we had before the war, it still won't be enough.
The need for power has more than doubled here in France. More people are demanding telephones, for instance. If there once was a time when the French thought them a luxury, that time is past. There are endless other things which require power too, some of them serious, some of them just pleasant, but all of them wanted. There are villages in France that have never known electric power, but they're going to know it and what it can do to make their lives easier. To the farmers, the ones who live far from cities in isolated places, electricity is going to make the biggest difference of all.
We must have power. To get it, we are planning bolder and building bigger than man has built before on this continent. Poilognon, high up in the Alps.
Ready in 1952.
Enchané on the Maron River.
The dam is done, the powerhouse is building. Ready in 1951.
Couesque in the Dordogne.
Dam completed, powerhouse nearing completion. Ready in 1951.
Kemps on the Rhine. Destroyed during the war and rebuilding since.
Dam completed, powerhouse completed. Machinery being installed, almost ready to go.
L'Aigle, one of the greatest of the projects in the Dordogne.
Dam completed. Powerhouse completed. Project in operation.
On Genesia, too. On Genesia, the greatest single hydroelectric project in France, pending the completion d'Onzin Mondragon. The work is done. From its huge turbines, whose yearly output is great enough to light up the whole of France for 20 days, power is already pouring out to Paris, to Lyon, to Strasbourg, to Europe. A turn of the switch in Genesia's great plant today will send electric power instantly into any part of France, any part of Europe, wherever it may be needed. It was power we wanted, so we planned boldly. And with the help of our friends, we built big. And today it is ours. And tomorrow.